We've already agreed that council does what people want them to do.
They're the biggest voting
These
bloc.
people don't want them to do it.
No.
So we're caught. Where are we stuck?
Well, I don't know
What are
that
we left
that's,
with?
I don't know that that's true, that
Yeah.
those people don't want them to do it. I know a lot of people who commute
Well, it would be nice
who
to
are
know how many
sympathetic
do.
to, certainly to the cost
Enough?
of rental
Are there
and
enough?
affordable housing. Enough,
Enough of those people to make it happen. To vote in councillors that will make it happen.
well, we'll see, I guess.
And in November.
One needs to make it an issue, right?
Yep.
In the
It has to be
election.
the primary. To my mind, it's the primary issue.
If in fact you want it to be the issue that people are
One
in
of-
essence
one of
voting on,
many.
or one of them, then it
I'll
needs to
take
come
a
forward
high-density
from the
building instead of a
community
new
as an
road.
issue.
From a developer's standpoint, I'm curious to know what you gentlemen would think of. I mean, yes, there's the whole idea of land density transfer, but if a development, say, were to have the woodlot caretaker's cottage, the handyman, or handy person, whatever, and have various dwellings that would benefit the development by attracting those certain kind of people to the neighborhood who can help weave into that. Is that something that developers would be willing to build themselves and make
I think it's wonderful.
Mhm.
I love the idea. I would love to recreate what got lost here in Snug Cove, all those Union Steamship cabins.
Yeah.
Because when I came, there
Yeah.
was quite a number still there, and that was actually our supply of rental housing. Yes,
Mhm.
but now, I mean, even the most derelict cottage sells for 600,000 and plus, and that's what it is. So, but you mentioned trailer courts. Now, trailer courts have this connotation of being somewhat, but today I would
It's
probably
different.
prefer a different, same thing but different
Terminology, yeah.
Maybe manufactured homes. You can buy a very livable manufactured home for about $125,000, $130,000. So all you need now,
And it's a sense of community there.
yes,
It's
Yeah.
a beautiful
a
sense.
land which
Yeah.
can be had for lease, and then you can get a place for less than $200,000, which most people can afford. Who can afford right now to spend about $750 to $850 a month in rent. So, but that is again housing policy. You have a certain model which you want to see happening, and then you can go out and force the developers to provide. And that, we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
No.
That's Whistler has done it.
Yes.
So there are many
Yeah.
models.
I think Ted Nebling, we should almost bring him in to
Yeah.
speak. He created so
But
much
for
of
Whistler,
that.
it was a matter of existing or not, because it's highly dependent on people to work. Bowen Island is not that, but it gets worse and worse. If you can, and I see it already, some of our retailers, their biggest problem is not having staff.
Staying open.
Yes, staying out, and they wear out. So if we lose now more and more of our businesses, well, then we have to go to town more and more, and we are more and more dependent on ferries, so we are basically forced to commute. So even this whole concept of sustainability, you cannot have a community be truly sustainable without having jobs, and more jobs, because anybody working on the island is not a commuter. And the more jobs we have, the more people we have who work for a living. So then actually it becomes a diverse society.
I'm
Which
concerned
Bowen Island
that it
used to
won't
be.
so
Yes.
diverse if all
Right
of
on.
the people who are the workers are confined to the cove.
Yeah.
To me, we're building,
I don't think that that's...
can I finish up?
No, sure.
We're building in some kind of two-tiered system that has been done over and over and over again. So you have the high-density town where people who can afford to live there, and who are not the people who can afford the $1 million homes. And so you have that classification of income and society. And
I
I
don't
don't think we need that
But
here.
what do we have
But-
now?
but-
We
but
have
how can
people
you
living
avoid that?
in
How can you-
derelict
Yeah,
homes.
Yes, and
It's
they're spread
a
out
much
all
better
over,
option
but they're
we have
already
now.
spread out all over the island as it is now. I think all we're
I'm
doing
talking
is
about
adding.
concentration.
No, I know, but right now we have people living in moldy basements.
Oh, that's
That
not good,
has to
to say
be,
the
I
least.
know, that's why I'm here.
They'll be
That
much
has to be
happier doing
addressed.
that.
Can we not address it?
And
in another
we
way?
have the actual homeless, like myself, you know, and there are a few of us, you know, I've been on the island for 24 years. I think most people know I'm not in trouble. But my demands are very little. One of my needs, my biggest needs, is that I won't be bothered. I can be insured of some kind of safety that I can park in the cove or near the cove, close to public washrooms. Now, if someone complains, I don't know what I have to find out yet what the bylaws are about that. Certainly, you can't do it in North Van. I was just busted for that the other day. A warning, thank God.
Overnight.
But and they have Walmart offers its parking lot for people like us. In turn, they get security. If something goes down, we're the first to do 911. So I want to make sure no one's complaining, and I'm getting either a bylaw officer or an RCMP officer knocking on my van and saying, out. You know, so where's that for me? I don't know. I haven't gone to council
But
and
part of
talked
the beauty
yet.
of being in the cove is that you don't have to have a car. You see, part of the thing that's ironic to me is anybody who knows anybody who's had to rent in Blue Water who works in the cove can't afford a car, can't afford the gas, and we don't have a bus anyway or a cab, and yet they're out there hitchhiking trying to get all the way over here.
And it's getting
It's
harder and harder to
ridiculous.
hitchhike.
It's just ridiculous.
Have we worked on the bus system or the-
but if we're in the cove, I get to walk to work. And isn't that what we're doing? Is trying to get this green thing together? Isn't that part of that solution? It's a double
Well,
bonus.
no,
in that?
because all the people from the exterior outlying areas will be driving in.
But they'll be in minimal
To where the town
population.
is.
See, there's a
Minimal?
minimal population. No, I'm saying what I'm saying is the density's here, and the minimal population is out on in the hinterland, if you will, of the island. So they're driving one vehicle, and generally 2/3 are probably driving off the
Do
island
you know
and driving on
the
again.
numbers of the...
I watch them every day.
No, but
Hundreds.
we're not going to be at 7,000. What's already laid out, it's at least 10,000 or more
For what?
before any more developments.
I don't believe
Well,
so.
I don't have,
think that's another.
I don't have the means to put it in front of you right now.
Actually, it's we have about 4,000 people right now.
But what I'm saying, it won't be a green society. There'll be a lot more exhaust belching out as people come into the cove where the businesses are.
Again, though, in the cove, you have the highest concentration of people. You don't need a vehicle at that point.
The
That's
workers,
part of the beauty.
people who-
That's part of it. It doesn't have to be a worker. It can be somebody who commutes. They walk down and catch the ferry and then catch the bus into town. There's a solution for you right there. A lot of people would probably like that lifestyle. I mean, when I first moved here from back east, and I mean central Canada, not the Maritimes, which is the proper term for back east, it drove me nuts living out in Blue Water. I was in the middle of nowhere. I could hear the blood rushing through my head. It was so quiet.
At the same
You know?
time, Alan, I think people like Wolfgang ran into roadblocks with that. For instance, I believe, if I remember correctly, your Cowan's proposal, there was going to be wasn't there going to be a school and
yes.
stores? And
Our first plan included, I think, 350 acres, which would end up with the municipality, 70% of the land, and the additional density we had allocated or had been granted was less than 100. So in the end, it ran into trouble. So instead of the municipality getting 350 acres, they got maybe 25 acres because of 100 units. I mean, but that was and probably is still the prevailing opinion.
Mhm.
And right now I see this, and it's actually an illusion if we believe that Snakov will be able to provide all this affordable housing which we need.
Mhm.
Because the municipalities